It's time for a beer!
Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. I'm still looking like a cat in headlights. There is a lamp just here that I've turned that on to try and improve the light, but it's a bit hard. It's quite a dark room. Anyway, we are coming up with the second beer review now. And if you watch the first one that is currently uploading, you'll know what's coming up now. But if you actually watch this, you'll know what's coming up anyway, because you'll see the title. So yes, the second one I picked up from Tesco's today while down in Coventry. And it's a Vocation brewery beer. And it's a barrel-aged imperial stout. And this is their mint chocolate stout. Barrel-aged, as it says underneath. 330ml bottle. This coming at £4. I was actually quite surprised. 12.2%. I was expecting it to be at least a fiver, really, because their barrel-aged ones tend to be sort of like £5. I know the cans are normally a bit bigger, but the way prices have gone up, I expected it to be at least £5. So in a way, it was kind of like a pleasant surprise. So yeah, I love mint chocolate. I love stouts. I don't mind a bit of barrel aging, and Vocation are pretty good too. So let's get this cracked open. I like the label as well. They kind of do their sort of, you know, their special series stuff or whatever. They do it with sort of like, you know, a little bit more of a quality sort of label. We've got a V on the bottle cap. I'm stopping in a B&B. That was the only glass I bought. Now I say it's a B&B, it's a house with rooms and you all share the kitchen kind of thing. I'm only here for a day, it don't matter. I've just got the room for the room, if you like. So I did bring a glass, but I didn't know what I was going to drink. I have had a nosy downstairs and they've only got like the half pint highball glasses. So I've just said, oh, sod it, we'll stick with this. And silly old sod here didn't bring a bottle opener. So I've gone down to the drawers in the kitchen and nicked a bottle opener. So we can finally get this beer review on the go. So let's get it cracked open and hopefully everyone get it open. God, surely, am I really this useless? That's it, we got it. I've not seen any reviews of this as it happens. I just haven't watched it. I'm still catching up on reviews really from holiday. And I've not really bothered with any sort of supermarket beers. Do apologise, you didn't really see the pour there. Now in the light you can see a dirty glass because Baz's sticky hands have been on it. The light is, like I say, is dreadful. I'm not going to... Jet black, really dark sort of chocolate sort of colour. We got a finger of tan head, some big bubbles on top. It doesn't appear like it's going massively quick, but I wouldn't expect it to stay too long. Has thickened up a bit there when we giving it a swirl. So, and I can't see any bubbles at all. You are getting a better view than I am, to be honest. I'm just getting a little bit dazzled. But, I mean, yeah, it looks like a stout. The head's stanging around there a little bit, which is quite nice to see, I suppose. So let's dive in with the nose, see what we get. Mint chocolate. Mint chocolate. All I'm thinking is mint chocolate ice cream. Maybe after eats as well. Yes, that is potent on the nose. That 12.2% is there. That 12.2% is massively there. You do get a little inkling of chocolate, I would say. And a little inkling of mint in the background. But for me, it's just... the predominant sort of beer aromas are a stouty kind of thing and alcohol, but you do get a bit of chocolate and mint in the background. But yeah, I mean, that barrel aged sort of thing is just kicking in big time. And I suppose to a certain extent, not really surprised at the strength it is. So stop waffling, let's dive in, see what it tastes like. I hope it tastes, I'm not going to say it smells bad, but I hope it's a little bit more pleasant on the palate than it is on the nose. Cheers. In all fairness, it is. It is. I'm going to start off with straight away 12.2%. All right, maybe not the ideal glass for this beer. All I done was rinse it from the last review. Sometimes I think that can affect how the body of a beer feels if you haven't got a nice, clean, fresh glass. I sometimes think that can affect it. But on this occasion, although it's got an oily, slick sort of mouthfeel, I wouldn't say it's massively heavy. It's certainly not light in terms of general beer. But I think for 12.2%, it's a little bit underwhelming in the body. But it's not always about the body. Sometimes it's about other things. So let's crack on. Nice little gentle sprightly fizz on the beer. So I do like that. It doesn't feel like it's totally dead. There is that nice little sparkle of fizz that brings the beer to life a bit in your mouth. I'm not going to say it's soft, but it is smooth when you drink it. It is nice and smooth, but the liquid doesn't have a softness like some other beers do. But that could just be the style of the beer. Again, it's the sort of style of beer that really sort of has more of a oily, slick kind of feel rather than a softness of, say, like a double IPA. Taste wise, a little bit of roastiness, a little bit of coffee, a little bit of mixed chocolate. I think you kind of get that milky chocolate in there with a little bit of a dark bit of chocolate, but not full on dark bitter. It's probably more milky with a little bit of a dark feel in there. Get a bit of the hiccups here, do apologise. You do get the mint in there. It's not massively minty. I think I would like to have a little bit more mint in it, personally, for me. But certainly how it is, the beer isn't sweet. It's got a sweetness, but it's not overly sweet, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe with it not being too minty, it maybe keeps the sweetness down, which is maybe, although it might be a downside on part of the beer, it's maybe a plus side for the rest of the beer. So I'm not going to necessarily knock it. 12.2%, do you get that? You get the feeling that it's a boozy number. It's barrel aged. You've got to expect it to have that little bit of booziness. It's certainly not as, for me, potent in the taste as it is on the nose. It is nice. It is nice, and it's, I suppose it's one of them that is all a little bit personal taste. I would like to have maybe a little bit more chocolate in there, maybe a little bit more mint in there, maybe a little bit thicker, denser in the body. But maybe if it had more of that, it would maybe be too sweet and too much. Whereas now, I suppose like anything, personal taste, like we say, the sweetness might be good for some people and not so good for others. So it's maybe a little bit of a 50-50. They've probably found the balance with this beer, I'm guessing. I'm sure they haven't been totally daft, and I'm sure they've sort of trialed and errored a bit of it. Maybe, I don't know, the barrel aging is, I suppose it's, you know, it's something that takes so long that you can't maybe just sit there and just try every other day. But I think they've got the balance reasonably good. Probably in general, you would say, yeah, I think they've got that probably right. But I think we could all sit there and say, oh, maybe it's a little bit too sweet. It's not sweet enough. It could do with a bit more of this, bit more of that. But overall, Vocation's mint chocolate stout, Their barrel aged one, 12.2%. It's a nice little drop, and it's definitely one of them sort of I mean, they come out this time of year. They come out all sorts of times of year, but I think this suits this time of year. It's one of them. You can enjoy it. It's a little bit boozy. It's a little bit of a case, especially 330ml bottle. Put your feet up, watch your telly, whatever. So yeah, for me, I would definitely recommend Vocation Brewery's Mint Chocolate Stout. If you're expecting a massively sweet number, you might be disappointed. If you're expecting something that hides the alcohol big time, you might be a little bit disappointed. But if you keep your head open, or your thoughts open, and go, right, okay, it's going to be a bit boozy. It's not going to be like eating an after eight mint. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And quite honestly, at £4, I don't think that's too bad. So yeah, like I say, from Tesco's in Coventry, that was £4. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I think, you know, it's perfectly respectable beer. Recommend you lot picking it up if you've got the inclination to, shall we say. If you've had it before, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. Waffled on for way too long. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again soon on another one. Cheers.